So here we are in Minds and Nations. This is what you're greeted to when you first install the game. You can also get the game not just on Steam, but also on Android. It's available on Android. I do have it on my phone. It's very basic. I would say the game's probably in a early beta stage, being just released, but we'll go in. What you're going to do is go and start. You're going to go sign up with an account if you don't already have one. You don't need to put an email, just username, password, something unique for yourself, and start in. I'll just go ahead and log into mine, and we'll jump right in with what a new nation looks like. What's going to happen is after you've created a new nation, you're going to be brought to this screen where it's going to be right away bring you to create a new nation. I'll go ahead and create a nation. There are two different types of continents. There's regular continents, which will have microtransactions in them where people can pay to try and get ahead in the game. And then there are continents without microtransactions. We'll go ahead and make this one on a continent with no microtransactions. So here we are with a nation. We got a Landia right here in the middle. It is year 1474, excuse me, and followed by some other options on the other side. We can get to our nations. Where's my second nation I have? We have a bell, which are notifications. Chat, which is, this brings you to all the forums and everything for the game, all the different channels. We have general channels, announcement bugs, different languages, feed, and everyone who's online. And this will be everyone who's online for the entire game. So we have some other things on this bar right here. We have our population with the red shield, with our living population, and then our population that is available for our service and putting out on expeditions and stuff. Followed by that, we have our energy, the energy we make per day, and all the things that create it. Food, gold, ideas, and these are another type of currency that you'll use, and different type of ideas. We have our technology, our stories, and cyber points, which you would use for microtransactions, but this is not a microtransaction server. The last few options you have are whether you want to see just the nations without any terrain, and then terrain view of the map of the world. You have down here, you can click on the little thing that'll center you on your nation, and then some options to make the provinces around you look different. Okay, so now with your nation, we're going to go ahead and start off. So usually when you start off, you have a tutorial. The tutorial is okay. If you are on a microtransaction server, I do suggest you do it. You get an extra 2,000 cyber points. So we'll go ahead and start. If you click on your nation name, you'll bring up your nation, your banner, the big stats about your nation, and then all the other stuff about it. When you start off, you'll get a free couple hundred years of peaceful where no one can attack you. You can either extend or cancel that. To start off, we're probably going to want to start off with colonists. So you have three options when you go ahead and you start doing other things. First things first is you'll want to start grabbing land around you. So we have three options: explore, colonize, and probe. Go ahead and colonize it. You can explore it to find out what's in the territory. There's not too much on that. Now, this game is very in-depth. You have a lot of options for everything. Well, later on, you'll unlock more options as you do more things in the game. So we're going to go ahead, go here, and we're going to start colonizing. Since we don't have a lot of money to really waste it, we only have 500 gold. We can't do any of the gold options, money options, or anything to make it faster. We'll just go with one of the basic. We'll just declare our superior tech. We'll send the largest party size, and we'll go ahead. Actually, we'll colonize all three. So you can have at the beginning 3 colonist parties. We'll go ahead and send them out. Superior tech, largest party size we can, and colonize that. So that's going to take about 3 minutes, and we'll have a colonist pop up soon. There's our little colonist cart. Has a line going down there. Draws a line from the circle to where it's going. It's moving to that province. It says to go ahead and colonize it. Okay, now we got our 3 carts out. They're going to go ahead and out over the next few years to colonize things. We just passed over the minute, the time. So my local time right now is 8:40, and on every 10 minutes it will go over to the next year. So at the next time, which would be 8:50, it's going to pass over to 1476. Now that we have our colony started, there's some key things you want to focus on when you're expanding stuff. So first things first, in your nation, you're going to have all these things that you can update in each province. So our starting province is pretty good. We have 34,000 people. We're producing quite a bit of gold each year, foods, and then souls and other stuff. So souls, what souls are is they're a way that create energy for you. So your energy is used, and that goes into the formula to determine how much more of each of the spiritual ideas, government's ideas, and day-to-day ideas you create. So from each of the souls, it'll give a certain number of points each day, and it will go into here, and you can use these to enact different actions. So we have our spiritual methods, our government, and our day-to-day. So what you can do when you first go into the game is you can unlock all of them. I'm just going to go ahead and go in here. We're going to go ahead and affect diet, open up diet, go ahead and grab it and open it up. And now in each one of these, we have a bunch of options. So for your entire nation, each one of these, they'll open up, you can unlock it, complicate life more, and you'll get a bunch of options in the subset. Now, some of these will open up even more pathways, and I'll just keep indenting more. So there's a lot of different options you can do. So you can either choose some of the ones that it already gives you pre-assigned, or you can add custom options, add custom effects, which are the ones it gives you. Type up the option name that you want to give. Here's the example it's giving, something government. And then you can add it, and it'll add on. It'll be the same price as everything else, just add on. I'm going to go ahead and start with vegetarianism, though, because I don't want everyone to be eating all my food. So I'm going to try and reduce food right off the bat. As you can see, when I got that diet, it reduced this. It cost idea points to upgrade these. So right here, it 5,000 now. I started with 7,000. It cost me 1,500 or 1,500 to upgrade and to get vegetarianism for my group. So we'll see when that gets enacted. We should have now increased food production. Now, you want to always make sure your food production is enough to keep your population. If you check underneath population, you can see that you can feed 133% of your population, which is good. Now, we're going to continue expanding our other ideas. So in government's idea, we have a bunch of options. We're going to start with those who leads, which is going to be essentially what kind of leadership you can have. You can have one person, two people, many people. This one, it doesn't cost me anything, so I'll go ahead. And this one we'll do, let's see, we're going to call it one couple for this one. Let's be interesting this time, I guess. And then we're going to decide on how so it's the two people, and then it can be how are they decided to be marked, and this stuff will start calling stuff. We're going to go ahead and say they're elected, because that's pretty good effect. We'll get more ideas over 5 short years, and after those 5 years it will drop down to only 8%, but more government's ideas will create these ideas faster to be able to get more government options created, as well as for percent of time we'll have more people fit to serve. And then there's more options. As you see, we did one couple, and more options will keep opening up for like who can vote, and it'll each, depending on the option you choose, it'll have different routes. So if I didn't choose who's elected, I want to get the who can vote option. So you can make your nation essentially however you want to. So I've gone down there already. We're going to go over some more options. Go to the spiritual methods, and we're going to start with, this is just a disclaimer about everything here, but we'll probably go with reflections, add method, techniques for progress. And you can see it decreases this, like the cycles. Go with something that does. Now we have no more to get. We'll just have to wait time for those to go up each year. They are quite slow in the beginning with only a 0.06, a 0.69, and then the 50.31. And they're quite some time. So it'll probably take a couple of hours for those to increase. Looks like we did have our first province, though, get colonized. And it was immediately expanded. We'll go ahead and start colonizing other provinces. Just with what we have. We don't have enough gold. So we'll go ahead. Just declare superior tech. Largest party size. And go ahead and colonize it. After your first colonies are out. It takes much longer to colonize. As you saw, it would take 36 years. Okay, continuing on with some of the things we have our technologies. So what we have for our technologies is just different technologies. It takes 24 hours to go from level 1 to level 2. And you can increase it by spending what are called your energy to get faster researchers, essentially. So this guy has 9.5. We'll go ahead and spend the 100, and now it's increased down to 21 hours. We'll go ahead and do a few more. Minus 13 at a cost of 400. I don't believe I need a 400 right now. Minus. So I'll go with the 7.2. %, at 250. That's not too bad, actually. We'll go ahead and grab that guy for that one. And our last slot, well, I don't have 900, so we'll go ahead and take it down by 9% with him. So now it will take less time for us to research and increase this, and this will slowly over time unlock more things to do in your country. Now, with a second province, you can go ahead and unlock it and look to see that you can do more stuff in it now. So in our first one, we're going ahead and start unlocking stuff with time. I don't want to quite waste food. Some of the smartest things to do, though, or to start with, is waterworks, infrastructure, but we have military, which will help defense in these places. Infrastructure, which decreases food waste. Increases the food production and waterworks services, will help you gain taxes and more money. Culture, more gold, and then more essentially population with villages as more children. Then you can also create wonders in each of your countries. You have to slowly unlock things to do countries. If you do go ahead and just unlock every single one of these right off the bat and just expand government in all the slots and don't put anything in it, you can instantly right off the bat unlock wonders. But you can go ahead and explore that yourself. Now the last thing you have is stories, which you can spend 100 energy on to get a story. And it'll just be events that pop up. You go ahead and do the events. And you'll have to wait time. It'll be a multi-part story or a single-part story you'll go through, and you'll get other things. Now, you can also look around your world to see what other people are doing. Like we got, let's see, the United Provinces right here next to us. You can see the size of their nation, how many provinces they have, everything that they can show. There's some quite interesting facts in here, like I'll tell you how large they are compared to other countries back on Earth. You can go ahead and request alliances with people and a lot of other stuff that would have to go a lot more in depth. And even it's not that much in depth, but it's just kind of creating with other players. And you can also click on the name to show all the provinces they own around the world. You can go ahead and private message people to try and form alliances with them. And then you can also see anything about their previous simulations. And then all the other countries they own. For myself, I own a second one. And that would be back in the other continent. And then this continent is just here. And if you click on a continent, you can get an idea of your ranking versus how many free solds you have, where I'm down at the bottom with none. How many the sophisticates, which is one of these ones, the idea types, the methods, cornucopias, we don't know, food reduction of anyone else, population. I imagine I'm still down at the bottom. Oh no, I'm not quite at the bottom there. We've got battles, size, and then provinces, just how many provinces you own. I hope that's a good rundown of everything that's happened in this game to try and start up and build your land for yourself from the beginning. I've taken you through, it's been 2 years in the game. And it's not too hard to start off, just kind of gotta find your spot, figure out where you are, and start expanding things and experimenting and build your country however you like to just try and increase your population. And hopefully I'll see you in another simulation.